Y'all know why I'm going live. Today should be day 3, 4 of my testimony, me sharing my testimony. And I've been guiding y'all through the years from 2015 to 2022. And today we at the end of 2019, going into 2022. And basically, and through this message, he blessed me with everything. Because, I have been praying and everything. He blessed me with everything I wanted. In fact, he blessed me with more than what I expected what I thought I was going to get. Because I have been following him and I have been doing the works that he wanted me to do. But it wasn't easy for me because, I was learning that I was learning not to let words and things like that affect me. I was learning not to let what people had to say about me affect my heart, and I had to learn not to let it change my heart because I had got into a place where I was so in love with being alone and just doing my spiritual walk with God that when he started to send me out on missions, because when you do that, he's going to give you messages to give to people. So when he started sending me out to give out messages and do his work, I would start to get in my head, and I would start to think, well, maybe they're going to call me crazy, maybe they're going to call me weird, and some of them really did. There were some who would listen, and then there were some who would call me crazy, and they would look at me like I was weird, like I wasn't, they would look at me like I wasn't a human, like I wasn't a person, like what I was saying was out of this world. But the reason why they was looking at me like that, and the reason why they were saying these things about me and they wanted me to believe that I was so weird, was because I had God in me, I had Jesus in me, and I knew who Jesus was, and I allowed his light to shine in me, and I was speaking these things that a lot of people would be scared to speak. So I didn't allow fear to stop me. I didn't allow what I was thinking in my head to stop me. I still did it. And yeah, some of them did call me weird, but I spoke it anyways, So they're laughing at me. They're trying to bring up things. These kind of people, when you stay on this path and you're different, these people, it would be people from your past, the people that you don't know. It'd be people that you're not even really too fun with like that, They'll come and they'll try to remind you of who you used to be. And when they do that, that's just a test, You don't have to say, well, that's the devil or whatever, Just look at it as a test. They're going to try to remind you of who you used to be, to see if you forgave yourself, to see if you really are changed, to see, just to test you. So you look at that and you take that and you say, yes, that was me. Yes, I did do that. But I changed. Yes, that was me, but I'm not like that no more. I do this now. This is who I am now. That's who I was, and that's what made me who I am now. Yes, that is me, but it's no longer who I am now, because that's what made me who I am now. It gave me the strength to be who I am now, and I won't go back. I'm not a person that is going to return back. I won't ever return back, because I found God, and God, he led me down that pathway, and I rebuke anything negative that's coming towards me, that's how you gotta handle that situation. You be like, you can't look at it negatively. You can't look at it well, clearly you don't see the change in me, or clearly when somebody come, I remember you used to do this. You can't let that come and grab onto you, anything on your energy negatively. No, you gotta just embrace it. Dang, I was crazy, but God changed me. Dang, I did do that. But God changed me. He shed light on that situation, and he changed me. He helped me to grow, to be better. And sometimes when people do that, it's because that piece of them, that piece that they're trying to bring up about you in the past, is probably still in them. So that's when you say, and I pray that whoever is in that situation now, they get deliverance, because when I was in that situation, it was hard for me. because when I went and I did the message, I did what I was supposed to do. It was hard for me, yes, but because I was with God and God was with me, I did it, and you feel me, it became fluent. It became, I became comfortable in it. Like, when you're on a new level, you're going to be uncomfortable first. Like, you're not going to be comfortable. Like, whenever you're in something and you're comfortable and you're not probably really going to change that much. You got to be put into something. You got to be put out of your comfortability. A lot of people don't know that humiliation is the best face. Like, the whole time Jesus was here walking and talking on earth, he was being humiliated by his own people. The main place he was not accepted is from his own people. And surprisingly, if you ain't noticed, I'm about to say in my story, when I went back, he sent me to San Bernardino. It was around my own people that I had grew around and I had been around for years, like, and they were looking at me all snooty, like, and some people were, listening, and some people were actually, he was sending to me, like, like, I know God, I know God, and I know you know God because he sent me to you. Like, or like they would just come and they would be telling me these stories of what God did for them in their life, and I would just be like, like I would be in love with it because I was the same way, like, and it was like, okay, like, I hear you, God, I hear you, like, so I started getting, like, ambition, like, I started getting motive, like, I started getting excited, I started wanting to do it more and more and more and more and more, like, then he blessed me with my Chrysler, like, so this was around, I have to say, like, November 2019, going into December, yeah, because I got my Chrysler at the end of October, and we was going into November, and, like, so I was so happy, like, so he started showing me how to keep these things now, like, how to manage these things now. He started showing me what to do with my money. He started showing me all these different things. Hi, Alexandria. Hi, Lexus. Hi, Terry. I don't know if Deanna's still here or not. Hi, Deanna. Hi, y'all. So he started to show me, like, okay, when you get your money, put this in church. Put this off for this. Save this amount of money for this. Don't question me, just do it. So I put this amount in church like he told me to. The other amount, I didn't know why he was telling me to put it to the side, but it was for my Chrysler. I ended up buying a Chrysler 2000 LHS. It's tan. Many of y'all probably saw the picture when I uploaded it on Facebook. For $500. Okay, interior is good. No lights on the dashboard, nothing. Like, you feel me? Only thing I had to do was go down to the DMV and get it registered in my name. Like, and before, when I was young, I used to just go buy a car, not checking it out, not seeing what was wrong with it, and then, like, just driving it, like, not think about registration, no, nothing. Like, so he was trying to show me how to make moves to become a boss, because that's exactly what I wanted to be. Like, he's trying to show me moves. So I got my car. I was so happy, like, I got my credential actually, like, in the mail, like, we start talking about our graduation class, like, what we're about to go have our lunch in, and, everything else, like, everything is good, like, everything is great, like, and I get the option presented to me, like, do I want to have my own apartment or not? Like, I could stay with my mom. Because, I mean, my mom is the kind of person, like, we could stay with her until we 90 if you wanted to. Like, she's like that. Like, or I can go and I can get my own apartment. Like, in that moment, I thought, like, well, where I'm in my life right now, I don't feel like I'm ready for an apartment yet. Like, I feel like I'm not ready for that type of responsibility. I'm gonna be honest with you, because a lot of people, like, when you get to an apartment, you can't just leave it. You gotta maintain that. You gotta keep that stability. You gotta know how to maintain that, with the bills and, everything. Like, to me, I just felt like, I was trying to take the easy way out at that point. It's like, okay, well, I'm good with this. Like, I don't think I'm ready for an apartment yet. So I had my Chrysler, and I was trying to get everything ready for it, because I was just so in a rush to just go and drive it on the freeway and just, do everything that I could. Like, so we had hit, New Year's. I didn't do anything for New Year's. I actually went to sleep. I let my little sister and her friends have fun, in my room and stuff. And I actually went to sleep. And then I went to go get my car smoked, and I couldn't get my, like, going into the new year, like, and it's the saying that whatever you go into the new year doing, that's what you're gonna spend your year doing, like, or whatever the case is. I don't really too much believe in those things, but that's the same. So I went into the new year trying to get my car smogged and all the stuff. Basically I couldn't get my car smogged yet until I put more miles on my car. So but I didn't have a license, and this time I'm trying to be more aware, like. And that's it. I don't know why I have to pause right now and say this, but that's what a lot of people are doing right now with this coronavirus. Like, when people see other folk with masks and things like that, like, they're like, oh, they're not being faithful or whatever. No, like, you could be faithful and still be alert and still be aware, like, because I mean, sometimes some people, it's not like you. Like, you don't have to go out and be like, people can have their mask on and they can have on whatever they need to feel like, because they're aware of what's going on out there. They're alert, and they're also prayed up. Like, that don't mean they're worried. No, none of that. Like, because when you're really sick, like, you just have a regular cold, you put a mouth mask on sometimes, right? Because you don't want it to go out. That's just how it goes. So I was just trying to be aware. So I asked my cousin who had a license, like, could you at least be in the car with me while I go and put miles on my car? Because I had to put at least 200 miles on my car so that I can get my car smoked, so that I can be able to, go get my car registered, so that I can be able to drive it anywhere, and I can feel safe at least. Like, because I was going to go, along with that, I was going to also get my permit. So at least, like, I could be doing something legit, like. Because when I looked at that, like, this was really a big blessing, and I didn't want to lose it doing anything that I could have thought about before doing, like, I didn't want to do anything hasty. So I was just thinking precautiously, taking precautions. I ended up learning a lesson through that situation, though, because I also was trying to rush it. I could have waited a couple of days, but I was trying to rush it, and I ended up getting a hole in the water pump because I allowed my cousin to drive it, and I was rushing him to do the job, and he hit a bump over the thing, but it wasn't nothing much. It's not nothing much to replace a water pump in a car, so that was that. But my mind was so on what it was on that I went out, and the money that I had to the side, like, and then because I had money, like, he made it to where money wasn't a problem for me. Hi, Tisha. He made it to where money wasn't a problem for me at all. Like, so I was able to go and get another car. I went and I traveled way to Compton, California, and I bought a Dodge Neon, a red Dodge Neon. So now I had two cars. I didn't even think that I would ever have two cars. I didn't even know what I was going to do with two cars. I had more than enough than I expected. But now I had two cars, So and I drove out from Compton towards San Bernardino, and I went and visited my peoples out there in San Bernardino, and I'm telling them what God just did for me, and, I'm letting them know, like, how good God can be and everything, we making memories and stuff, and, I go back home. This, everything is going good. Even though I have a hole in my water pump, everything is going good for me. Everything is going really good, So, I got another test coming. One that was greater than the one before. I have another test coming. I didn't understand. At this point, I didn't have to understand completely what God was doing for me, because, you're not always going to understand what he's doing for you. I didn't have to understand what he was doing for me. I just was allowing him to come in and do what he was doing for me. And he had made it to where it was like this. Show me the way and I'm going to just go. Show me what it is and I'm going to just do it. I'm going to just do it. Just show me and I'm going to do it. So I started going on my live, and I started giving out my sermons that he was giving me to give out on my live, and I started speaking what he would put on my heart to speak. We ended up moving into a better apartment that we were in. Like, we just was moving up higher and higher and higher. We were elevating, and I got a call, and it was a person from my past. But I was also meeting a lot of people that I had not met before, like people from the future. Like, that's what I would say. It was people that I had not met before, and they were all good. I saw that they were all good. But this person from my past was someone that I was a little shaky on. But God told me not to be shaky, to trust Him. So I did just that. See, this person I was supposed to forgive and let go. Because sometimes we think we forgave something, but when they come back up and it's fresh again, we're just like we were before, way when it first happened. You didn't forgive it. You just let it be buried in your heart so deeply that it doesn't bother you every single day. You didn't forgive it, you know? So I had to forgive this person. I had to forgive him. And before I could forgive them and forgive them, I mean, as far as in the way that I wanted to, I had to deal with what was inside of me. Like, I had to deal with why I even was holding that grudge, and I had to deal with all of that. Oh, I think I tied my scarf too tight. But basically, it was for me to forgive and let go. It was for me to forgive and let go, not for me to, hold on to. So, basically, I ended up going and taking the trip to Arizona, and the trip was very nice. I didn't move too hastily. I didn't move too early. I didn't move out of my, I didn't move in my own understanding. I knew that when He gave me the signal to go, that I would go, and I went out there, and I would practice giving sermons out as if I was in front of a church. I would practice in the living room, on the microphone, because I went to Arizona with Quinche, and the house that we went to, the living room is built you can have your own personal concert in there if you wanted to. So I was using it to give out, practice giving out my sermons, and I was just trying to learn how to be flexible, learn how to be more comfortable than what I was doing, learn different things and stuff. So I saw that it was good, so I kept doing it, and the kids would see what we were doing, and they would want to be a part of it. And at first we would think y'all go over there, we handling business right now, and I just thought to ask them, I'm like, why y'all coming over here? Y'all curious? Y'all want to learn? Y'all want to know what we doing? Y'all want to know? Come on, let me show you. I'm here. This is what we're learning. I gave them their own paper, their own pencils, and so now we all at the table. We having Bible study. The Lord was using me to have Bible study with everybody in the house, and it was good. But as we were doing that, the devil was so angry. When I tell you, he was so angry. He was trying to send so many different distractions. The dogs was in combat. It was so much good. They were in combat fighting, and our phones were just ringing non-stop and everything. It was oh my. But we didn't. We continued. We continued. We continued to go along with it. Closed out the session and went on with our day. So. The Lord continued to put up more messages on my heart. I continued to give them out. How it would go. People will go. And they would come. They would listen. Or whatever the case is. I went back towards San Bernardino, and I was there for a few days, and then I ended up losing my car information, my car paperwork. And remind you, I had 2 cars now, so I needed to get them both registered in my name, but I wasn't rushing. Because I had already, ended up with another car. So at this point, I wasn't rushing. I just was being so patient. And so when my car information came up, I was sad, yes, but I trusted God, and it's well, he would give it to me when I need it. I don't believe that it's truly lost. I believe it's just somewhere where I can't see it right now. It's not lost though. It's not lost at all. It'll come back when I need it, and I'll be able to get both of these cars registered if it's meant for both of them to be registered in my name. So I went, and I ended up traveling back to Bakersfield, and I was out there, and I started going through the process of the forgiveness and letting go. But see, that was the problem, because how can I put this? Satan works with delusions. He's a man of delusion. God doesn't confuse you. He's not going to confuse you. He's not going to, like, make things seem like it's coming in the form of a delusion and like you don't understand. Like, so when you feel like you're going through something and you really don't get it, like you're really, really confused. Like even like when you walking on the path, it feels like even though you don't understand, in your heart, like you can feel it, like you're doing the right thing. Even if you nothing is pointing to where you understand that you need to peace and be still and pray, like pray, and you need to listen, you need to watch. Like for real, you need to pray, you need to listen, you need to watch, and this is exactly what Faith said today on her life. Real life though, like she's not gonna tell you anything. He's not gonna give her anything to tell y'all nothing wrong. Like honestly, and right now he's not giving me anything to tell y'all anything wrong. When you pray, if you praying, like when you pray, after you pray, you need to be still. You need to be still. Like you need to be still, and you need to listen. You need to watch. Like you really do. Like you need to watch. Like you need to be open, because when you do that, he's finna show you. He finna show you some stuff. Like you feel me? He finna show you. Like so that's exactly what I did. I began to pray. I began to fast. I began to study even more, and I be still. I became still. And he started to show me. He started to show me. He started to show me. And he says, take in these things, but let it change your heart not. Basically. So I'm showing you these things for a reason. But let it change your heart not. Forgive in this process. Let it change your heart not. So like don't become ugly. Don't lose your faith. Don't become withering in the pathway. Stay strong. Like, don't let it change your heart. Don't. And then it's like this, because you're so focused that people gonna start coming and trying to shine their gold in your face. They're gonna start trying to come and push you off your pathway. They're gonna try to come and try to bribe you to the fullest. Anything. Because you don't even know you might be this close to your victory. But to you, with your eyes, because with your eyes, you might think that it's this far. Because as we walking, how can I put it? As we walking, we in the present. So when we walking with God, we in the present. Our past is right here, but our future is right here. So while we in the present and we moving closer to our future, yes. But when we moving closer to our future, going like that, and our future going like that. I wish I had something so that I could show y'all more, like a board or something. But as we doing that, our past is going like this, like But if you look at it, and it's the way that you choose to view it. If you view it like, if you live in the present, releasing your past, but allowing that past to weld you in the present, heading, pushing towards your future, because you're looking straight and you're focused and you see the big picture. You're creating history in the present, in the making. You feel me? Because a lot of people do, and a lot of people don't feel me. This is why he have me here, and this is why he have me speaking and saying what he want me to say. So me, I'm that person in the middle. I'm the one in the middle. So I'm going, and as I'm going, I think I'm getting closer, and I'm getting closer, and I'm getting closer. My future going like this, but as it's going like this, that don't mean it's taking everything with it. No, it's just you're moving, you're elevating, you're going, you're going higher and higher. And your past, it seems like it's following you, but really no, you're just making history. You're just making history. It's history in the making. 5 years from now, you're going to look at where you was at, and you're going to be looking like, whoa. You're going to have new problems now. You're going to have new trials and tribulations now. Because like I said, he had blessed me with everything that I ever prayed for. But it was more within them blessings. Like, whoa. But when I got there, it was like, dang, the problems that I thought I had wasn't even problems. Like, they're not problems no more. I got new problems now. Like, dang, like, that's like a feather now. Like, and it's like, dang, I'm so happy here. And I hear him saying, if you happy here, you finna be joyous because where I'm finna take you next. You thought this was it? I got something better for you. Like, but within me taking you to something better, you know, you have to go through this test. So I ended up finding my paperwork. I ended up getting a call that my paperwork was back. Oh, by the way, through everything, I still got people talking. But to let you know, they talked about Jesus. They talked about Jesus. They talked about him. They talked about him. They talked about him. They talked about him. And I'm gonna let it be known now. Every day I go on here and I go live. I know that it's people who tune in. I know it's people who just probably see it and they scroll, you know. But that's not for me to, you know, deal with. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I know it's folk who probably go and be like, hey, did you see her live video? Did you see she mentioned Wooty Woom? Like, you know, or whatever. I know it's people who probably was like, you know, but it's not for me to judge on. It's not for me to, you know, I'm just taking it in. You know, I'm just noticing as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, and, you know, bygones be bygones. It is what it is, you know. Those who seek the message, got the message, you feel me? You know. So I received that. I got a call and my paperwork came up, and I was making plans to go and pick it up. I was making plans to go and get it, you know, and I also had other things to go out there and pick up. But then a lot of things started happening where I was at. Now let me tell you something. When things happen in your life, like I said, don't be so quick to call it the devil. And one thing I'm gonna also let you know, because I said it before in my videos, the devil can't do nothing in your life without God giving him permission. Period. The devil can't do nothing in your life without giving permission to it, you know, for it to happen. If you have made plans, but it seems like everything is stopping you from doing it, like you gotta go somewhere, but your tire pops. What if I had to give the message and my phone died, like, or whatever the case is? Maybe, just maybe, he was trying to stop you from something. He was trying to keep you from something that was gonna hurt you if you would have went there. Like, maybe you woke up this morning and you couldn't, for some reason, your door was blocked off. You couldn't get to work. But you get a phone call from your boss, and your boss telling you that it was an outbreak at your job, and everybody have the flu there. Everybody who was there has the flu now. Like, God stopped you from going there because you could have got sick. You would have got sick. Like, maybe your tire popped because when you would have got on the freeway that morning, you would have gotten a car crash. You would have been the one in that collision because there was a collision on the freeway that morning. And you would have been the one to be in that collision and lose their life because no one lost their life, but you would have been the one to lose your life. So he had to pop your tire and keep you in that house. Maybe your phone died because you wasn't going to be able to get on live. Like I said, because my phone could have died. Maybe my phone would have died because I wouldn't have been able to get on here. And I could have had a lot of messiness going on. And I could have been stuck in that. And you feel me? I could have been trapped in that. I could have felt like I would have been trapped in that. When he you know, that's not what happened, you know. But you feel me? Sometimes God's stopping you. Sometimes God is putting those things in your way to stop you, and you thinking it's the devil. Oh, the devil, he don't want me to be happy. He's popped my tire so I can't get there because he know that if I get there, I'ma shine. No. That's not what it is. Like, you really got to be careful what you calling God and what you calling the devil. You got to be careful. That's why you need to be careful. Like, just don't judge. Like, just don't stereotype nothing and don't judge. Just don't. Just pray. Just stay prayed up. Just talk to God all the time. Just because if you do, then you would know if it's really him or not. Because God is kind and nothing but kind. God is loving and nothing but loving. God is, you know. So I had went through basically a situation where things were happening to my car, you know, and I'm thinking that it's the devil. I'm like, oh, the devil is messing me up, and you know, this is why I'm saying this, because I went through the situation myself. I'm like, this is the devil. Like, you know, my car is being messed with. Someone in my apartments is messing with my car. Da, 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 da. And so I do everything I can to keep my car good, because I'm trying to travel towards San Bernardino to go get my things from San Bernardino. I shouldn't have. I wish I knew what I'm saying now then, because I wouldn't have did it. But that's what I had to go through, that so that I can learn the lesson that I learned, so that I can be able to say this now. I got on that freeway, and I have to say, the whole ride I couldn't even see like that. I could barely see. Like, I couldn't see. I didn't have no sight, and my headlights were on high beams, but I could not see. My car ran out of water, so it was like overheating. I had to pull over once I made it to Los Angeles and get water in my car. By the way, my car have not ever overheated. My car have not ever had any problems, neither one of them. Like, other than the water hole pump in my Chrysler, and I have not drove my Chrysler to San Bernardino. I was in my Dodge. I would drive my Dodge back and forth to San Bernardino, because remember, I didn't want to drive my Chrysler without it being registered or smog. That's how I ended up getting my Dodge. My Dodge overheated. I got 2 jugs of water, put it in my trunk. I get back on the freeway. 5 minutes in on the freeway, my hood slaps up and it blacks out my whole windshield. And I would say right now that I have the pictures. My pictures, those pictures, I actually can put on there. I had a video that I was supposed to post on here that I'm not able to post right now. I don't know why it's not loading for me, but I'm not able to post it when it is loading and I'm able to post it. It will be up, because I did say that I would post it today, but I did not. But I did come live though. I did continue to give out my message that I was given. So that's that. But so my windshield got like the hood slapped over my windshield, and I couldn't see anything. My little sister was with me, and remind you, I didn't have no license. I didn't have the paperwork. I was going to go pick the paperwork up to that car. And we were on the freeway, in the middle of the freeway, and we thought we were in a car crash. I don't know if she thought it or not, but I know me for a fact. I thought I had been like I were in the crash, like. And the first thing that I could do was like think of God, like, oh Lord, like, and it was like, excuse me, it was like a little blurry, but I could have sworn this was deja vu, and I could have sworn he had shown this to me before, and I could have sworn he literally had shown me me on the freeway, and this happening to me before, and I could have sworn, honestly. And so when I tell you, it felt like it was a force over my car, because I was going fast, like I was going in speed. And I didn't know I didn't know if my car, I didn't know what it was. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I just knew my windshield was black. I couldn't see out of it. And my car, it does not feel like it's on the ground. I don't see nothing. I can't see nothing around me, not through none of my windows. Like, I don't even see this. I don't see the street. Like, I don't see the freeway. I don't see the ground. Like, I don't see the ground. Like, I just see light everywhere. It's light everywhere. Like, all I see is light. And then I just felt my wheel trying to go like that, like go out of control. So my arm stiffened up, like my body stiffened up. And once my body stiffened up, my car started to come to a steady, like, stop. Like, it started to stop. And that's when I like, everything just came to me. And I looked at my sister and I told her, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. She thought the car had blew up. Like, she thought that everything wrong. It was bad going on, but she was thinking the worst of everything. And I'm like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Like, you know, everything's okay. Like, it's our hood, it's the hood. Like, we're not in a crash. Like, it's okay. Like, you know, I hopped out the car. I bought the car in the middle of the freeway. 2 of the lanes in the freeway are still going. But the lane that we were in, we held that whole lane back. Like, the whole lane was stopped up. And the ambulance were, like, at least 4 to 5 cars behind me. And so they came out of the lane, and they came towards me, and they're, like, asking, like, are you okay? Like, do you need help? And I have my little sister with me once again. I don't have any license. I don't have any registration. I don't have anything on this car at all. Like, you feel me? So I'm telling them, like, everything's fine. Like, I'm great. Like, just go. Like, just go, 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 go. Because I'm not trying to get my name ran. I'm not trying to go get in the system. Because I had not been in the system for a few years. Like, my name got clean in 2017. Like, you know? So I hadn't been in the system, not none. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so with me going through what I was going through, like, yeah, it was crazy. It was really, 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 really crazy. And this is always still, like, because I know y'all like, this is crazy. I don't know why sometimes the messages come through like this, and I don't question it. I just give it. We pull over. I fix the hood on my car. I pop it. I kick it as much as I can and try to pop it out of the place. I put it back on there. And I get back in the car. And I get back on the freeway. And I'm back driving again. And not even 5 minutes later, the hood does it again. Smacks against my windshield. And the glass flies on us. It doesn't break, but pieces of glass from the windshield starts to fly on us, and we panic again, and we scream, and we do everything again. And it's like the same thing, everything happens all over again. And so then my car comes to a stop, but this time my little sister, she has my mom on the phone. My mom's panicking, and she's screaming, and she's crying, and my little sister jumps out in the middle of the freeway all the way to the other side of the freeway while the cars are still going. Like, it's a miracle how she did not get hit. Like, this is how I know for a fact that God was with us. She ran to the whole other side, to like the arm of the freeway, and I had to run to the other side where she was, and I had to bring her back to the car and let her know that the car was not blew up or anything like that. And I went to the side of the freeway, and I put my car my lights, the hazards on, and then I rolled off the side of the freeway, and I ended up making the phone calls that I needed to make. And I had Quinshane come pick me up from out there. I was 51 minutes out from San Bernardino. And I had them come get me, and I went out, and I ended up selling my car to pick parts the very next day, because I didn't want to keep it. I didn't want to go through anything. Like, I mean, I could have kept it. I could have went through the motions in the oceans to, fight for these material things, but I didn't care. It just was what it was. I'll get another one, And so I ended up selling it, and I ended up sending my sister back home. It was a hassle getting her back home on the bus, but we did it. I didn't never stop to think that maybe he was doing these things, allowing these things to happen to my car before I ever attempted to get on the freeway to drive out there. Because these things would happen to me along the way. Like, because when I made it to the city, that more things bad would happen to me out there, because it was waiting for me. So that's why he wanted me to stay where he had placed me. And he wanted me to just stay and continue to seek him, and continue to, do what I was doing there, until he gave me a clear sign to move. Until he gave me a clear signal to go. Because, like I said, he's not a man of confusion. He's not a God of confusion. He's not a God of delusion. He's not going to confuse you. So, I ended up, and around this time, all those butterflies was everywhere. They were flocking everywhere. It was crazy. I ended up being out there for like a few days to a week, and I ended up I didn't even deal with anything. Either the person that I needed to forgive, they ended up being forgiven, but they ended up being let go like I needed to do. And I ended up traveling back towards Bakersfield and being out there, and I ended up going through my transitions, and growing more, and then my birthday ended up coming up. And once my birthday came, it was bad for me. Like, it was bad for me because I didn't know that you don't never know. So don't think you know everything, because you don't never know. Because I didn't even know what was to come, even with him showing me. I could only prepare for what he did show me. Like, I didn't know what was to come of everything else. So I just had to keep him in my heart, so that I would be at least able to lean on him when it did hit me, you know, whatever it was. Like, so my birthday came by and it was cool. You know, I did my hair and everything, and I did a few videos. He had me do a few videos, and I was speaking about it's the same videos that I'm trying to upload now, but it won't go up there. I was doing the videos, and I ended up getting into it with my household. And if anybody know anything, I spend a lot of my time putting my like I spend a lot of time trying to create unity in my household. Like, you know, so the unity had been created. Everything was good. Like, everything was so good. Let me tell you, like, that's why I didn't trip off my car going through what it went through. Like, I didn't trip off of that stuff because I really was happy. Like, I really was seeking happiness. Like, I was really, like, man, like, it was cool. Everything was so good. So, when I got into it with my household and everything happened in my household, like that next week that I was there, like I was so quiet, like I didn't even speak like that. When I did, I would whisper. I would hide in places, like I would hide, and I would like talk with God, and I would just like come up with this plan, like, you know. I still had my Chrysler, and that Chrysler, it wasn't even, I wasn't even keeping it for myself anymore. I was going to give it away. But I ended up leaving a week later, and I ended up, because I was going to go out of state. I was going to go away. I was going to go so far, like I wasn't going to be in California anymore. But I heard a few people out, and I ended up staying in California, and I ended up going towards San Bernardino, and I ended up getting, after, a week or two being out there and, you know, becoming stable, I ended up getting 2 jobs. I ended up getting a car. I ended up getting my deposit money for my apartment. I ended up getting everything that I needed. But yeah, I don't know why I'm being told to stop now. And then on top of that, my phone is about to die. It's on 10%. So I'll just go back live again tomorrow, and I'll continue this. For those of you who were tuned in, and those of you who have been following, if you know people who are going through what I've been through, tell them come watch my videos. I also have a friend that you guys may know very well. Her name is Faith. Her name is Faith Yvette on Facebook. She also is on here, and she's here through the day. She also, I'm pretty sure you know, she probably goes live more than me, because I only go live once a day. She probably has more on there. So go on her page, because she has things on there too, and it can get you through what you need to go through. Like, you know, to get to where you need to be and get you on your pathway, because we all going through stuff, and whatever you went through, and you, even if you have a story, you should speak it, because it may be things that you went through that I have not been through yet, that I'm going through right now, that I need help with. Like, you know, we need to bring ourselves to the point to where we are making the church what it's supposed to be. Like, you know, we don't need a building. Like, we are the church, we are the body. Like, we need to come together. We really do. Like, you know, tell your story, tell what God has did for you, tell what you went through. Like, get that out there. Get these messages out there. You know, especially right now, everything is shut down, because this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be worshiping Him. Like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. You know, we're not supposed to be out here, like, right now. Like, you see, Facebook wouldn't be a problem if this what we were doing. Like, all of us were using Facebook to lift each other up. Like, you know, the internet wouldn't be a problem if that's what we were using it to do, to lift each other up. Like, you know, we got to learn to do better, you know, as a unit. But, I'm done here, you guys. I'm out of here. Bye.